Right, everyone, we have reached Thursday with Practical CBT, offering online tools for better mental well-being. Yes, the international break is over, and we're looking forward to a pretty hectic period of only Celtic action over the next number of months. Some guy once called it an ultramarathon that we're going into. So yeah, we better buckle up and prepare for all this, because it's going to be busy. Just some of the numbers on that so that you know what we're dealing with here. So between Saturday's return game against St Mirin and the final game before the next break in late March, which is an away league game against Dundee United, 119 days. So in that 119 days, with no winter break, no break at all, we currently have 26 matches scheduled. Now, if we advance in the Scottish Cup past a couple of rounds, which you would clearly expect, and if we find a way to get through to the Europa League knockout round playoff, which you would probably doubt, but is still possible, that figure would go up to 30 matches. But even with that conservative 26 games, that's a game every 4.5 days over the next 4 months, which clearly for us as fans is great. I love having loads of games to talk about, but for the players and our pretty stretched squad already, I think it is going to be a challenge. Yeah, just looking at the squad, and clear it is going to be tested. Obviously, we do have players to come back from injury. We also have a January window where we can sign players. Of course, the club will look to do that and be incredibly well prepared, I'm sure. But yeah, just looking at the squad at the moment, and when you factor in those injuries, I think we have 8 at the moment that we will come on and talk about. Yeah, I think it is going to be a test, because we're going to rely on probably a number of players that maybe haven't seen too much game time so far this season. Like, I'm already looking at like Luke McCowan playing a good bit more than we've seen him, Paulo Bernardo, guys like Hayato Inamura and Shin Yamada, and clearly Jamai Simpson-Pusey, who we saw just before the break. I think these guys are going to need to fill in different positions, especially the defenders, given the current injuries we have. Just on that, so there are 8 players at the moment that we should all be a bit concerned about. So you've got long-term ones. Jota, I think we're looking at Jota being back sometime in early 2026. Now, that's pretty vague. It's going to take Jota a bit of time to get up to speed as well. Cameron Carter-Vickers, Alistair Johnson and Callum Osmond, similar. I think Cameron Carter-Vickers is kind of like the February to March range. I think it was between 3 and 5 months, we were told by Brendan Rodgers at the time. We also have Marcelo Sarachi, less known about him and his hamstring injury. Kelechi Iheanacho hasn't been seen since the opening minutes of the Sturm Graz game, but he could be back around the end of the month. And we do have 2 additional injury concerns from during the international break. So Colby Donovan, who, as we covered the other day, was stretchered off during Scotland under-21's game against Gibraltar. He appears to have maybe gotten away with it. His x-ray showed up clear. So yeah, he may still miss a little bit of time, but doesn't appear to have broken his ankle. And also a slight question mark over Sebastian Tenecti, who appears to have a thigh issue. Chat was that Celtic had asked Tunisia for him to be left out of their international squad to get like a 10-day rest, and Tunisia agreed to that. So will he be fit for this weekend? We should get a better indication tomorrow from Martin O'Neill, although I don't know that Martin O'Neill doesn't tend to really do the injury update maybe to the same extent as like a full-time permanent manager. So that gives you an idea of what the squad is like at the moment. Clearly there's, a lot of challenges for the team there. But I think, looking at Saturday night's game against St Mirren, I think Martin O'Neill is able to get these guys going. And, a few of them have had pretty good international breaks. Obviously the Scottish guys, Michel-Ange Balak-Wisha, and the guys who, weren't away with their countries as well have hopefully had a bit of rest. I saw Paulo Bernardo was away in Disneyland, which I swear he goes to during every single international break, but that's up to him. So hopefully these people are kind of raring to go and we can really kickstart this run on Saturday. I guess there is a bit of the unknown for everyone at the moment. with, like, as fans, we don't know exactly what's happening with the manager. We think it's going to be Wilfried Nancy, but when is that going to be announced? And the players will be feeling the same way. Difference is they've just got to get on with it on Saturday night and get us this result. One guy clearly we're going to be without on Saturday night, Hampden hero Callum Osmond. And just a wee note on him, because I came across this on Instagram from Vida Recovery, which in their own words is Glasgow's only high-pressure hyperbaric oxygen therapy. And they posted yesterday to say, it's our pleasure to have Celtic striker Callum Osmond visit us for his post-surgery healing. Following his recent hamstring tear, Callum sought out tools for an accelerated return to the pitch. We are able to provide him with Glasgow's only medical-grade pressure hyperbaric oxygen therapy. The profound benefits of increased oxygen saturation is a game-changer for athletes. This treatment provides them with the cellular energy to potentially heal up to 75% quicker than standard recovery protocols. And, you know, Osmond with crutches there in the image, strapping on his left leg as well. So clearly quite a severe injury for him. I'm not sure if he's had like as bad an injury as this in his short career so far. You would have to doubt it. And just a kind of difficult situation for him, having that massive high, scoring that goal against Rangers, to a few days later in Denmark, pulling up with a really bad hamstring injury. So, yeah, hopefully he can get over that as soon as possible. It's good to see he's doing all the right things and, you know, he can hopefully come back. And I think he's shown enough already to suggest that he could offer us something, especially with a fresh start under a new manager. Elsewhere, we had a post from Kieran Tierney on X last night. He's one of the rare footballers. I think he and Austin Trusty are the only ones you ever really see posting, Celtic-wise anyway, on X. And he posted there saying, wow, what a feeling, man. So proud to be part of this team and make history again. Unbelievable night. Here we go. And something I didn't mention yesterday, but like when Kieran Tierney scored that goal, which, you know, I know the other two really special goals Scotland scored are probably going to be remembered like slightly more, which I think is wrong, because Kieran Tierney's for me was like the match winner and the most important goal in the game, and for such an important goal to be such a brilliant goal, I think is quite rare. And he looked like disbelief, like he hadn't quite processed what was happening when he scored, and the fact he actually just kind of ran to the side, didn't really properly celebrate. And I saw him interviewed yesterday as well, and he was saying it hadn't really sunk in with him yet what he and his teammates had achieved by qualifying Scotland for the World Cup. So he's going to be on a real high coming back to Lennoxtown. I'm guessing today he'll be back at Lennoxtown. The squad will be back together, looking ahead to the weekend. Maybe a slightly awkward interaction with Kasper Schmeichel. You'd love to see what those two actually do, because they must address it when they see each other. Does Schmeichel joke about it? Is it like a kind of taboo subject for Tierney because he doesn't want to, you know, feel like he's rubbing it in with Kasper at all? Do they joke about it? It would be interesting to be there. But I mean, chances are they're both going to be in that team on Saturday. I think Tierney's probably going to start, because looks like Marcelo Saracchi will certainly be missing for this weekend. So hopefully Tierney can kick on from that, and that's been a massive boost for him. But yeah, I always enjoy his rare posts online. And yeah, that's kind of it at the moment. There's a few different things going on at the club. Obviously, we have the AGM tomorrow, which will be interesting. We can talk a bit more about that on tomorrow's video, though I've done a bit of a build-up to it already. I think there'll certainly be things come out of that. We'll get various quotes from people and various things being raised by those in the room. So that should be interesting. We'll have Martin O'Neill back in front of the media. I assume they're going to do that tomorrow, but with the AGM being tomorrow as well, I did wonder if that might be changed at all, possibly to today. So we'll wait and see with that as well. Saturday's game, there's some off-the-field stuff going on between the Green Brigade and the North Curve and the club. I just want to leave at this point, but that appears like it's going to kind of continue to escalate, I think, which is obviously no good for anyone. And obviously the managerial stuff as well, gone pretty quiet on that, and still expect it to be Wilfried Nancy, but what is the hold up there? People are kind of questioning. I saw some stuff about his backroom team, and potentially that could be the issue there, that he really wants his backroom team to be part of things, which certainly reminds you of the Eddie Howe stuff, but it does feel like it's a bit different to that situation as well. So things are happening. There should be plenty more for us to chat about tomorrow, but for now we'll leave it there. I'll do a slightly shorter video and let you enjoy the rest of your Thursday.